Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. When you think about the Packers' potential moves this offseason, it's impossible not to get excited about what could be on the horizon. The NFL is always buzzing, and right now, there's a rumor circulating that could shake up the entire NFC North, and maybe even push the Packers into a new level of competitiveness. We're talking about a potential trade involving Patrick Surtain, the standout cornerback from the Denver Broncos, and if it comes to fruition, it might just be one of the most significant moves of the year for Green Bay. Sources are indicating that the Broncos, who have been stuck in a rebuild mode after a tough 6-9 season and some rough losses like their Week 12 defeat to the Chiefs, are actively shopping Surtain. Denver is reportedly willing to part ways with their top corner for a first and second round pick, primarily aiming to free up cap space and inject youth into their secondary. This makes sense considering their current struggles on defense, which has been leaking points, an average of 5 points per game this season. With that kind of defensive output, it's clear the Broncos are trying to rebuild from the ground up, especially with the emphasis on adding cap relief for future extensions, notably for players like Nix, while also focusing on a rebuild after the Sean Payton era. Now, why would the Packers be interested? Well, it's no secret that Green Bay is looking to bolster their secondary, especially after some injury setbacks. Jaire Alexander, their star corner, has been battling an ankle injury that sidelined him for 4 games. When healthy, Alexander is a lockdown defender, but the absence of consistent coverage has hurt the Packers' defense against high-powered aerial attacks. Teams like Detroit, with Jared Goff throwing for over 200 yards, have been exploiting those vulnerabilities. Adding someone like Surtain could be a game-changer, not just for this season, but for the next few years. A true shutdown corner who can lock down top receivers, Surtain could transform Green Bay's secondary into a top 10 unit, giving them the stability they need to contend deep into the playoffs. Surtain, drafted in 2021, has quickly made a name for himself as one of the league's premier young corners. Through his career, he's accumulated 285 tackles, 14 interceptions, 62 pass deflections, and boasts a PFF grade of 89.0. Last season, he recorded 45 solo tackles, 3 interceptions, and a sack, with a coverage grade of 91.2, second among all cornerbacks in the league. His ability to shut down receivers is evident from his yards allowed per pass attempt, which is just 5.9 yards, significantly below the league average, and a 9.2% interception rate in man coverage. He's also demonstrated durability, with no significant injuries to date, making him a reliable piece for the long-term plans of any team. The Packers could see Surtain as the missing piece in their quest to balance a potent offense led by Jordan Love, who's thrown for over 4.0 yards this season, with a defense that has struggled to make key stops. Green Bay's defense currently allows around 22 points per game, but with Surtain, that number could drop substantially. His addition could boost the secondary's overall coverage efficiency by over 22%, significantly reducing the yards allowed and giving the Packers a more aggressive, confident defense. Imagine pairing him with Gary, who's already had 8 sacks this season. Those two could become a lethal combination, creating pressure and forcing turnovers at a much higher rate, and the impact extends beyond just a few games. If the Packers acquire Surtain, it could elevate their entire defense into an elite level, similar to what we saw with the Chiefs' secondary last season, which was a key reason they were so dominant on defense, allowing a 20% reduction in EPA per play. That kind of improvement could be the difference maker in close games, especially as the playoffs approach. With the NFC as competitive as ever, having a lockdown corner like Surtain could be the X factor that pushes Green Bay towards a deep playoff run and maybe even a Super Bowl appearance. Now, looking at the bigger picture, Denver's side of this potential trade makes sense for a few reasons. They're currently giving up an average of 5 points per game and have a cap space of around $18 million. Moving on from Surtain would free up approximately $20 million in 2026. funds that could be reinvested into offensive line upgrades, wide receivers, or other defensive pieces. Denver is also trying to shed some of their veteran-heavy contracts to focus on a youth movement, especially after trading away key players and considering their long-term rebuilding strategy. The Broncos are in a position where they might prioritize draft picks over veteran assets, especially if they believe they can develop younger players and build for the future. Meanwhile, the Packers are in a different spot. Sitting at 10-5 and currently sitting second in the NFC North, they are eyeing a playoff run that could be extended with the right additions. Their defense has been solid but inconsistent, and adding someone like Surtain could be the final piece to solidify their secondary. Plus, the potential to elevate their defense into a top-tier unit aligns perfectly with their goal of competing for a Super Bowl. Jordan Love, who's been developing impressively, needs a defense that can keep opponents at bay, especially against high-powered offenses like Detroit. With Surtain, the Packers could tighten coverage on the league's best receivers and create more turnovers, turning their offense into a more explosive and consistent threat. From a statistical standpoint, Surtain's impact is undeniable. If we project his 2023 performance into the Packers system, it's easy to imagine adding 12 more interceptions this season, roughly doubling their current total, and significantly reducing the yards allowed through the air. This would turn Green Bay's defense from a good unit into an elite one, capable of matching up with the best teams in the league. It also offers a psychological boost, knowing they have a true shutdown corner in Surtain who can take away receivers and force quarterbacks to alter their game plans. That kind of defensive dominance is what separates Super Bowl contenders from the rest. Now, when it comes to the playoffs, the numbers get even more interesting. Surtain's presence could boost the Packers' win probability in aerial battles by around 14%, especially in matchups against teams with strong passing attacks. His ability to lock down top receivers is a game changer, and with the current odds for the Super Bowl at plus 800, a move like this could push those odds even further down, potentially to plus 400, making Green Bay not just a fringe contender but a serious threat. Fans love to dream big, and with a secondary anchored by Surtain, the Packers could become one of the most feared teams come January, echoing how the Chiefs' secondary was a key driver behind their Super Bowl run last season. Looking at the bigger picture, this trade would mark a shift for the Packers into a more defensive-oriented team, emphasizing stability and shutdown ability on the back end. Surtain could become a cornerstone for years to come, helping Green Bay maintain a top defense while their offense continues to develop. For Denver, it's a gamble. Trading away a young, talented corner like Surtain could mean a decade of rebuilding, but it's also a chance to accelerate their rebuild with draft picks and cap space to target the right pieces. This kind of move also signals a new era for the Packers, who have been known for their balanced approach over the years. Adding a player of Surtain's caliber would send a message that they're serious about contending now, not just in the near future. It's about creating a defense that can dominate on third down, create turnovers, and make life miserable for opposing quarterbacks. And with the NFC North as competitive as ever, especially with the Lions' explosive offense and the Vikings always lurking, making a bold move like this could be exactly what Green Bay needs to leapfrog the competition and establish themselves as the team to beat. Now, of course, there are questions about the cost and whether Denver would be willing to part with Surtain. Given his age, only 23, and his proven production, it's understandable that the Broncos would want a hefty price. But if the Packers can offer a package that includes a first-round pick and a second, along with some future considerations, they might just be able to seal the deal. It's a calculated risk, but one that could pay off in a big way, especially if Surtain stays healthy and continues to develop into one of the league's elite shutdown corners. So in summary, this potential trade isn't just about adding a great player. It's about transforming the identity of the Packers' defense, making them a true contender in the NFC, and setting up a future where they can compete for titles year after year. The idea of pairing Surtain with Alexander, creating a lockdown duo, and giving Jordan Love that extra layer of protection is exciting enough to get any Green Bay fan dreaming of Super Bowl glory again. Whether it happens or not, one thing is clear. The NFC North is about to get even more interesting, and the Green Bay Packers are right in the middle of it, ready to make bold moves that could define their season and beyond. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Green Bay Packers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this rumored trade? Do you think Certain would be the perfect fit for the Packers? Would you be willing to give up a first and second round pick for such a talented young corner? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news and keep that passion alive. Go Pack, go!